Well, Merry Christmas to you and Happy Hanukkah, Crazy Kwanzaa, whatever it is. I've been absent for a time and I apologize because some of you have checked in and said, are you still among the living? Which is a good question. So as you can obviously tell, I'm in the festive mood. Some time ago when I was playfully doing some things about people were teasing me about what I looked like, who I looked like. One of them said, you might look like Edmund Gwen of Miracle on 34th Street. So I looked at it, and this is kind of sort of what he looked like. So I went ahead and grew a beard and got myself a Santa Claus hat for this little occasion. What I'd like to do is share with you what I consider to be a fabulous, interesting year, and part of that has to do with just obviously from a channel perspective. This has been an amazing year for me. I started in January. I had a few people that watched. I had some things I thought I could say. And as it turns out, now there are thousands of people that have checked in, and I'm absolutely dumbfounded by it. So let me tell you how thankful and appreciative I am. But even more than that, let's look at what this season brings and recognize that it's not so much about, it could be, but it's not so much for most of us about gifts and turkey or even family gatherings. It is more a frame of mind, a framework that we have about how we live our lives and what we see in our lives and how we have come to a place of thankfulness and appreciation. Obviously, one of the things about Christmas is, or this season, is that it comes into the solstice. It comes into the darkest time of the year. And it is a time of recognition that we have lived through this year, that we've survived, right? That's the first thing to be thankful for, is that we are here. And then to recognize even more so that as this year progresses, we are going to be seeing a whole new season, a whole new year, a whole new opening, a whole new appreciation for where we are. A year ago, I could not have imagined what has come about as far as the channel goes. To have had a couple of videos that more than 500,000 people have seen. One of them is almost at 1 million, which is amazing for an average Montana guy to come to a place where he recognizes that nearly as many people have seen a video as there are people in the state of Montana is absolutely astounding. And to have 80,000 people say, we're subscribers. We will at least occasionally check in on you, or there might be something that you've had to say, or even, and this is really important, that we the people find, and I do, the comments that are made here are absolutely amazing and astounding, and that applies to all of the ones, both political and personal, across the spectrum. There are people that have come here, you viewers, you are contributors, the vast energy that gives us a source and sense of accomplishment and a sense of beingness that has transformed it. I read those comments. Be aware I read them. And most of the time, if you make reference or make some kind of comment about them, most of the time, believe it or not, I actually do look at them and follow them. Not that I can comment on every single one of them. And obviously, many of you add to the narrative, profoundly oftentimes to the narrative, taking us to other places, showing us other videos, making reference to books or magazines or online articles or websites where we can learn more, and it's just absolutely amazing. Most importantly for us, I think, at least in this place, and for me especially, to say to you how thankful and appreciative I am for the family that we have become. And perhaps that is a cliche, perhaps it is. Some of you will say that's sheer silliness, but I cannot tell you how many of you, both in comments and in emails, have warmed me, have given me new hope, new energy, have shared with me your life circumstances, the positive energies of our existence, and how important it has become for us, all of us, to recognize that we, as citizens of this country and as citizens of this world, as people who care deeply about where we are and where we're going, what kinds of lives we have had in the past, and how those circumstances have not always reflected what was really going on. And so here and now we are in a place where we see, I think most of us, we're red-pilled, right? Most of us have come to an appreciation that most of what we have known for all of our lives is a myth, much like the Santa Claus business itself was a myth. And we come to a point in our lives at 6 or 7 or whatever it is where we say, well, Santa isn't, at least at this level, Santa isn't real, right? There's not this big fat guy with a gray beard and a red outfit sliding down the chimney giving me my presents. And likewise, there is not this political energy, these two parties that have openly and freely and fairly given us our public menu, our public presence, our public being. None of that is true. And that has, and while we look at this craziness now, we see that it has gone on for hundreds of years, and that we as citizens have been fooled. We have been made to believe that Santa Claus was real. And so now we are here to face this new being, to find our new gifts, to find our adult beingness, to be not, to use some of the metaphors of this season, to not be sheep any longer, and to not even be the shepherds, but to eventually climb onto the camel and be the wise men and women who are looking, who get a greater vantage point, who cover the globe and look at what is going on, not just here, not just now, but over time. One of the reasons that I have been quiet this last few weeks is looking in the shadow of the so-called campfire fire to recognize how proximate the seriousness and profundity of our lives has come. And certainly it has come to those who live in California, but it is a testament to all of us that changes are coming, and they're not necessarily changes that we looked forward to. Secondly, and I'm going to talk about this, I had not decided to talk to it until now, to look at the whole George H.W. Bush funeral and the juxtaposition of the playfulness that went on among the former presidents and vice presidents prior to President Trump showing up, through the process of the funeral itself, the presentation by Son W, Shrubby I call him, and then the notification that was given, for which there has been so much play about the notes, the little messages they got, and what those messages might have said and might have meant and might have implied about both the passing of George H.W. Bush and also about what it is that we may look to in the future. And so I have some thoughts about that. They're certainly not singular. There are many people who have made their comments, but I do have my own reflections on it, and some of those are different from, I think, everybody's. I will share that with you in the next few days. I think it is for us to look at this season in a reflective and spiritual way, and to see ourselves manifesting both as citizens, as individuals, as family members, as part of a community, as part of a nation, and as part of the world. We are all, in some fashion, here together, and to recognize that we must transform where we are. We must be conscious of what is going on, and we must take charge of the process as it goes forward. This is not entirely a place just of struggle and strife and shortages and inadequacies. It is for us to make it manifestly much more a place of heaven on earth, a place where people find safety and solace, and a place to grow, a place to appreciate others as fellow humans and as individuals. And let us resolve then finally to manifest our greatest vision of mankind. Let's both in our communities, in our country, as well as in the nation, let's find a way of manifesting ourselves for not just us, not just our neighbors or the community, but for all of us, and for now and for our posterity. And let's resolve to do that. And let us make it more the gift that we give ourselves, the gift that we give all of the rest of these people by leaving this world better than we have found it, which is ultimately what we are here to do. We are here to elevate our own spirits and the spirits of all around us. And so in that humor, in that sense, that feeling, I commend to all of us, and I ask all of us to see this new year, this new season, as a place where we will in fact manifest greatness and positiveness and finally fulfill the vision of this country to be the place of freedom for all. Thank you so much for watching.